March 22nd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3.
Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All, for the Nintendo DS. I'm SamuraiT-X.
And I'm SamuraiT-X.
When we last left off, we concluded our first investigation of the case, as Edgeworth helped us with the final bit of evidence we needed for today, by telling us about Celeste Impacts and the suicide and the hidden suicide note, and about Adrian Andrews' attempted suicide. So that's all connected to this case, I believe. And then we went to Adrian Andrews in Mountain Guard's hotel room, and Franziska was there, and well, she was there saying that she's going to finish the encounter. I told Adrian Andrews to remember what they said. I can't remember what they discussed because when we got there, their conversation was just about finished. We broke her psych lock and we found out that she has an insecurity and she wants us to keep it secret, which we will. So then we got to Wright and Cole law offices, which led to the killer getting in contact with us. We did speak to Mia, and then we were Maya for a moment just to check her situation. And her situation is really dire at the moment because she is in this wine cellar. She did find her way out with a card and unlocking the door, and that's where we left off. So now we are in the defendant lobby. So without further ado, let's start this video.
Adrian did it?
That's what it looks like.
Dude, no way! That woman wouldn't do anything like that.
In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you.
A mountain of evidence?
I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you.
Please, Mr. Lawyer, dude, like I said yesterday, man. I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that, man.
I understand. Well, it's almost time. Mia, we must get to a complete acquittal today. I know. I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. Huh? It's him! This is Wright!
Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial.
Maya! She's unharmed, right? Sorry, let me read that again because I think I said harmed. Maya, she's unharmed, right?
Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired.
Huh?
Don't worry. People don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For myself, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning.
Present? What in the world would you want to give me?
You'll figure it out once the trial opens, even if you don't like my gift. I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please.
Wait! And that's the end of the conversation. The kidnapper sent me a present?
Mr. Lawyer dude, who was that?
No one. It has nothing to do with you. So forget you heard anything.
Dude, did your nose just get longer?
Yeah, it did, because he's lying and he's Pinocchio for now.
March 22nd, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 3. Samurai, something's not right.
I know, Franziska's not there. Something's happened to her.
I have a bad feeling about this.
So do I. Oh, hi, Judge. It's been a while. One of the most awesome characters in the game is about to be making his appearance. Thank goodness, because I was missing this guy. Court is now in session for the trial of man on guard. Are the prosecution and defense ready? Clearly not, because prosecution is not there. The defense is ready, Your Honor. I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma?
I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me?
Oh god, it's the bailiff, so I've got to do a different voice. Your Honor! Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is now in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it?
Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman.
Huh? What?
Shot?
Ah, jeez, I knew something happened to her.
Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about.
Is present?
Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she disappeared, this would be your advantage.
This? This is totally insane!
Miss Von Karma, is she alright?
I don't have that answer. Ah, I think I know who this is, to be honest with you. He's been back for a while now, so I'm guessing it's him. So I'm gonna talk in his voice.
She's alive and in stable condition.
That's good. Phew. Huh? You're...
I thought he'd show up.
Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Franziska Von Karma cannot appear in court today.
Love this theme, by the way. This is Edgeworth's version of the Great Revival. Alright, so it seems Franziska's been shot, and she definitely can't appear. But if you've been shot, you're not going to appear, like, in court. Or anywhere, to be honest with you.
I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready, naturally.
And the jury and the crowd are going wild as Miles Edgeworth makes his return to the court.
Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder.
I keep saying soldier instead of shoulder. Sorry about that. I say that regularly. I don't know why. There's something wrong with me.
Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery.
Where have I heard of Von Karma being shot in the shoulder? Obviously, in the first game, when Manfred Von Karma was shot in that shoulder. I don't know what shoulder it was, but he was shot in the shoulder. Runs in the family, I guess.
Luckily, I have looked this case over and I'm familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Mattengard.
The court acknowledges the prosecution.
Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. And I wag my finger at you while I'm ready to tell you. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer.
Huh?
Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Witness, your name and occupation.
My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct, for now.
For now?
After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir.
Detective Gumshoe. The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Table smash. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that.
Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight.
Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Witness testimony. Bare facts of the case.
This murder happened after the Heroes Awards ceremony, sir. The victim, Von Corridor, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder.
After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room?
Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant went alone into their room, sir.
I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. And Miles Edgeworth is officially our opponent for today.
Let's see if me doing what Grodus did works. Let's see.
Meow.
Okay, that doesn't work. Hold it! Hold it! Thank you. Had to be aggressive. Seems me doing Grodus's things doesn't work. So I have to do my own and just shout, hold it! Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony?
Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m. And that's when there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later.
And that's when the victim's body was found, correct?
Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period. Please continue with your testimony, Detective.
Hold it! The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct?
Yeah.
Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about?
She's the defendant, Man of Guard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir.
Ah, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that, wouldn't you, Judge?
When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. God. After visiting his room, she went to the next victim's room to get him for the show, sir.
I see. And that's when she found the victim's body.
Hold it! The cause of death, wasn't it because Mr. Corridor was stabbed in the chest?
Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now a real pro's attention will be drawn here to this bandana.
Banana?
His bandana, sir. That's the thing that's wrapped tightly around his neck, sir.
Ah, yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana.
No, Judge, it's a bandana, not a banana. Nobody said anything about banana. Come on. Even though that's funny, he says a banana-scented bandana. When is a bandana banana-scented? Unless you coat your thing in banana? Like, what? A banana-scented bandana? Come on, Judge. Then what about the knife?
It seems to have been struck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
We have a crafty murderer on our hands here.
Alright, update it. Hold it! And why did you think that?
Because it was empty, pal. The Jamming Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
Oh, then how about this theory? The fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
We thought of that too, but the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims.
Only the victims? Huh?
I see. Ah, so much for my theory then.
It was a good one, Judge. It was a good one. Sorry about my constant jumping, but yeah, very good shout out, Judge. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So, Judge, let's press on the final statement because I don't think Gumshoe has any contradictions here. Hold it. What convinced you that you had nothing to do with the case?
The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night.
Well then, where was it?
The burnt guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Corrida, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case?
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for that ceremony, he didn't have his guitar.
So so that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel?
Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all.
I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with the knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Madame Guard? Because there was a reason enough to suspect him.
Here it comes. Looks like Edra's back in full swing.
Very well, Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir.
Right, next testimony. Here we come. Why arrest on guard?
Madame Guard and Juan Corrida were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the German ninja's button. It was ripped off the ninja's costume and found in Mr. Onguard's Hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder.
Okay. Oops, forgot to read. Oh, Jesus, I think Judge was out. Obviously.
It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir.
Knife added to the court record.
And there's this button.
That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And is this the button also covered in blood?
Yes, and we know that the blood on it was the victim's blood, sir.
What? Well, we got 2 new pieces of evidence in our court record.
All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it?
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, Wright? I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions.
Grrr.
Alright, time for the second cross-examination. Hold it! But in terms of popularity, Mr. Onguard won, did he not?
Yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? Juan Corrida was also one step behind Mr. Onguard and everything. This year it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown.
But Mr. Corrida lost in the Grand Prix in the end.
And it's too bad, he must have been pretty downhearted after losing.
Hold it! Table smash. Wait just 1 second here. Mr. Onguard was beating Mr. Corrida in the popularity polls.
Well, yeah, I guess, but...
Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. Smack.
Yes, I quite agree. Well, Detective?
It's not, well... I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant wouldn't have no motive.
Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired.
No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's...
I look forward to your pension negotiations. Oh my goodness, man. This guy's taking enough wage cuts as it is, man. Cut him some slack.
No!
Now, Detective, let's continue with the testimony.
No, not my poor pension, too.
Table smash. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed.
Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir.
What about what I was saying? Hello? Anyone? You're not even in the room, Phoenix. You were just, like, invisible to them at this point. Hold it. Do you have any proof that the button belonged to the victim?
Huh? What do you mean, pal?
Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
Huh? But you can't tell just by looking at it? The victim's blood is on it.
Table smash. Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterwards.
Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir.
Alright, I knew he had to... Alright, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in.
Fred.
Huh?
The button was attached to the costume by Fred, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match.
Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal.
Ugh! That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. Kudos to him for that, though. Hold it! When's this button found? When was this button found?
Pretty soon after the body was found. We rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Corridor, and then we searched and searched them all. That's when we found the button.
So it was almost immediately after the murder.
The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks unlike some people.
Hey! What's he trying to say about me here? Hold it! How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife?
Huh? What do you mean, pal?
By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand?
Oh, that's what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that.
I can't believe the bumbling of this department.
Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, Wright? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There is no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder.
So is the defendant the owner of this knife then? Hold it! Gotta press it. Gotta press it before we present anything, so yes. This statement does bug me about the premeditated murder, so yeah, I'm pressing it first before I can even think of presenting something. There is no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he brought the knife.
Sorry, pal. This isn't just some pocket knife. It's not really useful for anything. And you can't just walk around with it either.
Well, this is no good. If the prosecution can prove it was premeditated murder, we're done for. Phoenix? Yes? There's something very interesting about what the detective just said now. Think carefully before it's too late. A button covered in the victim's blood and a knife with Mr. Ogard's fingerprints. Be grateful if the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in the world of trouble. Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So, let's find the enemy's weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be, okay, Phoenix? Alright. So, that statement bothered me. Right, where is it? Premeditated murder. If it was premeditated murder, then, you know, they would have used something along with it. I think this was planned from the start, so if it was planned from the start, premeditation is out of the question. This definitely is not premeditated. It was surely planned. I'm very certain of it. So we're going to present the knife because, you know, this doesn't come off as premeditated. If you plan a murder, you bring a weapon with you, you know, for sure, knowing that you're planning this murder. So I'm going to present the knife. Objection! Table smash. Wait a second.
Well, what?
So the basis of your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client brought a knife beforehand.
That's right, pal. The defendant
did not buy this knife. That too. You know, you're supposed to bring your own weapon with you. If you're supposed to bring your own weapon with you to a murder, you know, if you don't buy the knife and you just take something, then you didn't really plan it. Let's be honest.
Huh?
Take a good look at the handle of this knife, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Huh?
It has Gatewater seal set on the handle. It's the handle.
Gatewater. I think I've heard that name before.
That's the name of the hotel, the Gatewater Hotel.
Uh-oh.
Table smash. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. You bring your own weapons to a crime, for sure.
Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... Well, what is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I am sorry, but the defense is simply too careless.
What?
I waggle my finger at you before I give you my call. I think whether this crime was premeditated or not has already been determined.
How so?
I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. But I didn't know. Oh! The question is, table smash, where did this knife come from?
Well, why that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Coroner's room.
I shake my head, Your Honor, because that is wrong. Sorry, Your Honor, but this is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table.
There is a knife and a fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from?
I waggle my finger before I give my answer. If it pleases the court, I would like us to record the room of the defendant, Mr. Man on Guard. Especially what was on top of his table. There is something missing. Perhaps it was a single knife. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Man on Guard's knife was missing. Mr. On Guard had gone to the victim's room Mr. On Guard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. Damn it!
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction.
It seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it.
A murder weapon with fingerprints and a bottom from a victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of Your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to this court.
Evidence not yet shown? He means evidence in the court that hasn't been seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Well... Phoenix... The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer something wrong here, the gavel of his will be ringing out at the sound of our defeat.
Mr. Wright, do you have something important necessary to present to this court?
Well, this is where we're going to have to end the video, because it's nearly half an hour into the video. We're going to present our answer in the next video, so... When we come back, folks, we'll play more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and give our answer. Because if we don't have an answer, we're screwed. So, stay tuned and find out what our answer will be. Until then, thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.